Good afternoon, everybody. Some dumb guy here once again, and I have another haul or two to document here and share with you guys. I got some groovy titles from GRUV and some Amazonian fun as well, all up here to be seen. Thought I'd share. I got two different packages from Amazon. I got two different packages from GRUV. One of them which I actually ordered directly through their store on eBay. So if any of you are familiar with GRUV and have shopped with them, you may or may not be aware that going onto their eBay page can actually yield you some better deals on occasion. They have some exclusive promotions that usually if you buy two or more of a specific group of titles, you get like an additional 15% off their prices. Of course, you want to check on their website and compare their eBay price to their website price just to make sure that they're in line before you try to apply that discount, because I have seen on occasion that GRUV will specifically have the price a little bit higher on eBay, so that 15% off doesn't necessarily do you any good. Let's roll right into it, shall we? Let's begin. Look at that. Magic time. I snap my fingers. It's dark. Things are different. The world's different. I filmed the introduction to this video and getting prepared to start the next segment of it, I realized the time, and I had tickets to go see a 40th anniversary screening of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. There, kitty. Kitty, kitty, look. Everybody, say hi to Sugar. Every single time I start recording, she skirts by. Doesn't she look so happy to be held? Hey, look, you're on YouTube. Run away. Good girl. Anyway, so yeah, my local Cinemark theater has been doing a tribute to 1984 this week, and I've been indulging in that quite a lot. So saw Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom tonight. Got a little groovy selection of movies here. I shopped both their website and eBay. First and foremost, saddened me to have to actually get this, but as much as I love it, this is the Ultimate Knockout collection of Rocky. Get some glare in mind. I'll just hide behind it because we'd much rather see this than me. This is the 1 through Rocky Balboa set, including the director's cut of part 4 and the director's cut of part 6. I bought the 1 through 4 collection a year and a half ago when it came out, and didn't really want to. I probably would have opted for individual releases had the studio done any that weren't in steelbook form. I'm not a steelbook fan. I'll go into that later at some other point. But I'd heard that there was rights issues or something to that effect that prohibited Part 5 and Rocky Balboa from being included in a box set together. So because of that, I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and lo and behold, we find out, no, it's just because that the 4K transfers for the last 2 films weren't done, and the director's cut for Rocky Balboa was still being worked on. So hey, guess what? We're going to put out a whole other collection. But if you want just the last 2, well, here's 2 more steelbooks. No standard individual releases. So I had to do it. Went to GRUV's eBay site where they had it for the same price, but they had a little special that they usually have on certain movies where if you buy 2, you get 15% off, and because the price was still the same, I went ahead and pulled the trigger, bought it and one more title, got the 15% off, so I think I ultimately paid $75, which is still too much. Rocky 5 looks great. Rocky Balboa, I watched only the director's cut so far because I've already opened that, and I was as disappointed with that one as I was with the director's cut of Rocky 4, which I might go into at some other point. But Rocky 5 looked great. I think that film was highly underrated. It's one of Stallone's best performances of his career. An underrated movie in spite of its flaws. So that one looked really good. 85% of it was spectacular, I thought. So happy to have those. But second movie that I got to qualify for the 15% off was 4K of Serenity. Hoping at some point we'll get some kind of good quality release for Firefly to go with this. I have not actually seen this since it was relatively new, so this will be a rewatch for me, and haven't seen Firefly in probably 15 years, give or take, so I'm a little bit rusty, so I might hold off on rewatching this until I'm able to check out the series again. Pretty cool cover on that one, I liked it. Next one, maybe So Bad It's Good title, possibly maybe becoming a guilty pleasure of mine. I got this thing for like $10 on the GRUV website for one of their 4K sales. One of several attempts Universal Studios to relaunch a monster universe. We had the Wolfman, we had I, Frankenstein, we had Tom Cruise's The Mummy, and we had Dracula Untold. A lot of people think this was their only attempt, first attempt, at building that new franchise, and that was not the case. They actually made several attempts, and every single time it failed, they just pretended it didn't happen and started fresh. But saw this once, thought it was corny as hell. It's kind of one of those movies like that goes with Van Helsing, you know, as a, hey, here's a Dracula movie that's just batshit crazy, right? So there it is. And then while we're in the guilty pleasure, so bad it could possibly be good realm, Blu-ray of Terminator 3, which I think I got for like $6.99, and I decided, what the heck, kitty, why do you always gotta get crazy when I'm filming, huh? Your box is falling over. Go hide in your box. There you go. Yeah, not as good as the first two, better than everything that came after. It's one of those kind of middle of the road, still on the fence as far as how I feel about this one, but for the price, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger. Yeah, it's all stops with Salvation for me, though. There's just nothing after that, and even the last two times I tried to watch Salvation, I wasn't able to finish it. That's it for films I've actually seen that I purchased. Now we're in blind buy territory. My next one is a Blu-ray sequel to a South Korean film that I ran into at Walmart a couple years back. DVD was on the shelf. Had a really fascinating cover, and encouraged me to pick it up and take a look at it, and read the synopsis for it. Sounded intriguing, but because it was a DVD, made note of it, but I passed, and later went on Amazon, found out that there was a Blu-ray available. So I kind of monitored the price, and then it popped up on GRUV. It went on sale for $14.99, so when it pulled the trigger, and it was a good one. I've got it right here, I'll show it in a minute. Long movie, I think it was like 3 hours long for the first part, and kind of a complex premise. It dives right in, and it's one of those movies you really don't know for sure what's going on with it until probably halfway through, until all the pieces start coming together, and it flows. But I really enjoyed it, and the sequel came about much faster than I would have expected. I was worried because COVID was in full swing, and I was thinking, okay, they're not going to be filming this right away. But I was happy to be wrong. It popped up for pre-order. GRUV had this one right away this time, and their pre-order was only $14.99 as well, brand new. And in one of my rarities where I actually do the pre-order, I got it, and it came in this week. And so what we end up with is the sequel to Alienoid, which is Alienoid Return to the Future. This artwork is not nearly as good on the cover as the original one, which I'll show in a minute. Nice to have a slip cover on that, obviously. Artwork's the same on both. But it's a South Korean science fiction film, a lot of time travel and such. The first film, Alienoid, this is what that looks like. Really kind of cool, fascinating. This lady here who's in some traditional period Korean garb. She's got a modern 21st century gun in her hand. You got this robot creature coming out of a portal. Something else here which you don't really know what it's about. You see some background buildings inside the portal and outside as well. But just walking past this, you're like, what kind of mashup is this? What kind of story could this be? And it was really eye-catching to me. So I was glad I got it, glad I watched it, enjoyed it, and now I have the two of them and paired up together. I just wish they would have done a better job with the artwork on this one. So yeah, there it is there. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I'll probably have to rewatch Alienoid now to refresh my memory on it. Like this. There we go, like this. And then next Blind Boy, more sci-fi, 4K, classic, black and white. Although I did not know that at the time because the front cover art is in color. It came from outer space. Also got this on sale. I think probably combined with Dracula Untold. It was probably one of their multi-buy bargains, so I probably paid either $10 or $15 for this. I'm guessing 10. This thing looks fascinating. I'm looking forward to this. I like this little bit of Kitty, would you settle down? Look, I like this little bit of, this is kind of creepy, this little imagery here in this hexagon. I like that. Make that out okay. And an ominous vibe to it. Next is expanding my John Wayne library. This is one of his later westerns from 1973. I'm hoping I pronounced this correctly, which is Cahill. Is that correct? Anybody can let me know. Sugar, settle down. She's usually much more well behaved. Okay. Next Blind Buy came highly recommended from the Critical Drinker, and I believe Mahler was watching one of their live streams. World War II espionage film called Anthropoid, not to be confused with Alienoid. That one is I think they both claimed it was a really good movie. We've got Cillian Murphy and Jamie Dornan. Yeah, so one of those war resistance type films. Wouldn't be good. Last but not least, we've got two more 4Ks here. DC animated films, which I've been reacquainting myself with recently. There's a big batch of them that I'd never seen, and I've been pretty impressed overall with the majority of them. I'm not going to tackle the the Crisis on Infinite Earth saga that they've been putting out. I think the artwork on that is pitiful, which is really disappointing because so often these DC animated films have great artwork on their covers, and then you watch the movie and it's crap. It's just absolute garbage, and it's really disappointing, and you don't know until you plug it in. But this first one is Justice Society World War II. So we're getting a little classic era Justice Society instead of the Justice League. Looks pretty cool. I don't think I've even actually read the synopsis on this one, but that is okay. And the last one I've been keeping my eye on for quite some time. It was way overpriced for the longest time. It was listed at $22.99. It's a full-length feature. It's an hour and a half, which is pretty long by DC animation standards, and it is a 4K, but I wasn't going to pay $22.99 for an animated film like this. So I watched it, and finally GRUV put it on sale, and I got it for $14.99. I absolutely love the artwork on this, and I'm happy that I got the slipcover. It's Batman and the Doom that came to Gotham, and this is just awesome here. I recently watched Gotham by Gaslight, which was a really good period Batman piece, and this looks to be something very similar. Again, the artwork on this is great. I don't know what the movie itself is going to look like. The back obviously suggests something entirely different as far as the look of it goes. The art style, I don't know if that's representative of the film, but I guess I will find out. My anticipation shall soon be alleviated, for better or worse. So that is that, and yeah, that's it for my GRUV haul this time around. I just placed another order today, so I'll have another batch coming in shortly. Looking forward to sharing that all with you. Let me know, have you guys seen anything that I purchased? Likes, dislikes, whatever. As usual, throw the comments at me. I'd love to hear from y'all. I'm going to get some dinner. You all have a pleasant evening. Thanks for joining.